Aloha. Thank you for tuning in to yoga today. We'll start in just a couple minutes. So I'm going to place a mat down or a towel down. Find a cushion, a prop, a block. And today, if able, you might choose your own music. Less background noise. Hopefully easier to teach. About a minute till go time. Let's start standing today with your feet about a shoulder distance apart. Your palms facing forward encourages your shoulder blades to roll back, and so you wind up with a broader chest. The opposite of that would be to roll the palms back, and you can see what that does to my shoulders. I've exaggerated it a little bit, but palms forward does encourage the shoulders back. With the shoulders pinned back and the tummy tone, feel your body balanced atop the feet. Feel the work of keeping your palms facing forward. And now I dare you, you don't have to do it today, close your eyes. When you close your eyes, obviously you're taking away your sense of sight. And we rely heavily on our sense of sight for balancing. This movement in your body. Movement starts to take over with a sense of sight. And so in this shape, with the eyes closed, your body may sway. Especially as you try to keep your thighs relaxed, your glutes relaxed, and your tummy a little extra tone. A little extra tummy tone. Just a little. Relaxed through the legs and relaxed through the glutes. Can you spread your toes wider? A broader ball of foot. Does that change your balance here? Certainly your connection to the floor. Notice breathing. Try to calm the sway. And your body still. Even as the legs relax. And the muscles of your glutes relax. If they're not already, in no rush, allow your eyes to open. Nice to have the sense of sight back now. Inhale, circle your arms overhead. The palms will touch over there, and then exhale, bend your knees just a little bit. Place your hands to your knees. Breathe in here for me. And now try to take your elbows to your knees. As you exhale, relax the back of your neck. Inhale again, hands to knees, and straighten your arms. Lift about halfway up. And then again, exhale, elbows down to knees. And maybe let the elbows hang off the knees. Hands to knees. Inhale, flat back. Pause here as you exhale. And then arms circle to the side and up as you breathe in. Palms touch overhead, and then exhale the arms down beside you. Very good. We'll do that 2 more times. The hands just touch overhead and then open away from each other. Inhale, circle your arms high. Exhale, hands towards the knees. Breathe in here for me. Exhale, elbows to knees. Relax the back of your neck. See what is behind you, between your legs. Inhale, hands to knees. Half lift. They call this flat back. Ideally, there's no round or hunch. You're really long and lifted here. Exhale again, elbows to knees. And maybe slip the elbows off the knees into more of a dangling, but not for long. Inhale, hands to knees. Half lift. Pause here as you exhale. Inhale, come stand. Arms overhead. And then arms beside you. And as promised, just one more of these. Moon salutations, they're called. Inhale, your arms circle up. Exhale, hands to knees. Inhale here. Exhale, elbows to knees. Try to relax your neck. Inhale, flat back. Hands to knees again. Straighten the arms to lift your spine. And now you get to round the back. Come extra low if you care to. Elbows to knees or dangling arms. Inhale, flat back. Stay here as you exhale. Inhale, come standing the rest of the way tall. Arms circle high. And then exhale, arms down by your side. Good. A couple standing exercises now. Hands to your hips. Feet a little closer together. If you can, bring your feet to touch, inner thighs to touch, inner calves to touch. Get as much of your center line together as you can. And the hands to the hips, elbows wide. Good. Now you'll notice your pelvis is more or less level. Encourage it that way. You'll notice that your shoulders are more or less level. Good. Keep the pelvis level. Tilt the shoulders. Give more weight to your left hand. Nice to take your head with it, if you would. Left ear just a little lower. And then the add-on is to extend the right arm alongside your ear. You don't have to do that. Hands to hips will suit us just fine. Inhale, rise. Exhale, settle. Lengthen your spine as you breathe in again. And as you exhale, pour a little more weight into the right hand as the shoulders tilt that way. Good. Now, tendencies to keep the head up, especially if you're watching the screen. See if you can drop your right ear a little lower. Nice. That might mess with your equilibrium as the inner ear fluid moves. You're welcome to add the arm extension, but only if you did on the other side. Better perhaps today to keep hands on hips. Breathe in. As you exhale, softly come up. Take a breath, catch it. Exhale, simply rest. Good. Palms forward, just for now. Feet still, more or less together. Turn your right toes out to the right. Just a little like that won't do. Try to get your toes more out to the right. Good. I say it won't do. Of course it will. You go as far as you comfortably can. Once your toes are off, pointing to the right, lift the heel of that right foot. You see? Bring it against your left ankle, like so. Good. Now, push heel against ankle and ankle against heel. Grow taller off that connection. Place your palms at your heart. If you feel your chin, palms, spine, and center line are on top of your left foot, you might try taking the right toes off the ground. No pressure. That's not a challenge. It's not a demand. Only if it feels right that you want to lift the toes. Now, knee forward. That's a different type of balance. Foot down. Good. Feet start off more or less together. Left toes, pivot off your left heel and turn your left toes to the left. Good. If you can go a little further, please do. Lift the heel of your left foot and slide the heel of your left foot against your right ankle. Once you make that connection, ankle presses against heel, but heel presses back. 2 points push against each other, off of which you grow taller. Hands to prayer if you don't mind. Hands, chin, spine, center line, on top of right foot now. You might not need the left toes. Careful. Balance on one leg is tricky. There's going to be movements down there in your ankle if you try. Try to keep the movement localized in the ankle and foot. Knee forward and foot down, heel down. Very good, very good. Give a little shake to your hands and a little shake to the leg. Other leg. Very nice. Now, open your legs wider than the shoulders. Wider than the shoulders still. And try to parallel the feet. Notice toes pointing straight ahead, heels directly behind the toes, more or less. A warrior stance turns our right toes out to the right. Again, we pivot off the right heel, like so. Try to check that your right toes are due right. They don't want to be angled forward at all. So this one's not going to do it. You really need those toes to point right so that we can bend our knee, right knee on top, or in line, I should say, with the toes. So the knee doesn't fall in, shouldn't have done that, not good for my knee. Knee doesn't fall back, shouldn't have done that either, not good for my knee. Knee right on top of ankle, yeah? Knee over the toes is okay, but again, knee over ankles, much, much better. Try to keep the knee over the ankle, and I dare you to walk your left foot back a little extra, and then perhaps sink the hips down a little extra. This is a warrior stance. Try to square your hips and shoulders towards me in the screen, open your arms out to the T, and gaze over your right hand. This is now warrior 2. Breathe in here. Exhale, take your right hand towards your right knee. Your right arm now a buttress for the weight in your shoulders and head. Left arm alongside the ear. This is called extended warrior or extended side angle. Ideally, if you were to drop a ball on the back of your hand, it would roll right down to the outside of your ankle down there. One line, like a ramp. Good. Lift the torso back up to warrior 2, arms level, in line with shoulders. Face forward towards me, drop the arms, straighten the right leg, parallel the feet, and then bring your feet under you. And we just bring the feet under so that we can bend our knees a few times in neutral hips. Bend the knees and straighten. Bend the knees and straighten. Bend the knees and straighten. Let's do a breathing exercise with the knees bending. Inhale, arms to shoulder height as you bend the knees. Exhale, hands pull back. And as you exhale, hands push down and the legs straighten. Inhale, arms to shoulder height, bend the knees. As you exhale, keep the knees bent, hands pull back. As your hands push down, you're exhaling and you straighten the knees. 2 more. Inhale, bend the knees, arms up. Exhale, back with the palms and down. Legs straighten, then they bend. Exhale, hands pull back. And now the legs straighten as the hands push down. Good. Open the legs wide again. You can step, wiggle, or heel toe as you like. Once your feet are wider than your shoulders, check that they are. A little wider still, perhaps. Always be kind. Let me move these blocks out of the way. Excuse me. I see my toes down there. So, left toes. Pivoting off the left heel. We turn our left toes to the left. And do left, ideally. The knee bends on top of the ankle. Good. Square your hips and your shoulders towards me. Knee right on top of ankle, ideally. Can you walk the back foot a little further back? Not much. Hips sink lower if you care to. Knee always on top of ankle. Arms lift to shoulder height. And now take your gaze over your left hand. Just a few breaths here. Try to feel the work of this stance. Dig in with the outside edges of your feet, but work less through the rest of your legs. Allow gravity to pull you lower. Tummy's tone, arms are soft even as you're holding them out to the side. Face forward. Good. Left hand to left knee. Lean into that hand. You really want your spine and center line in line with this right leg, or the back leg, the long one. And then the arm comes in line with the rest of you. If you're too low, you'll be having two separate lines. And we really want one even ram from back of hand all the way to outside of ankle down there. Good, nice to bring the head in line. Gaze under arm. Well, face forward. Use the weight of your right arm, the top arm, coming level to right your posture. Take a deep breath in, and then rest your arms down. Good. Straighten left leg. Parallel the feet. Heel toe or walk. Step your feet back together. Notice how the legs feel different than just a moment ago. Now, hands to knees, feet parallel. Feet a comfortable hip distance apart. So there'll be a little space between your knees perhaps. Hands to the knees. Try to get heavier on your hands. In this shape, I should have given you the side view earlier. In this shape, your spine is ever so long. It's the exact same posture you have up here. It's just the hands rest down on the knees. Some of you do this though, watch. Posture beautiful, hands to the knees. You see that slouch in the upper back? That's awful, don't do it. Pull your heart forward and through, shoulders ground down, and the hands are on the knee that way. Chest lifted, shoulders back, chin forward. Really nice. Now, from this position, you're in so much trouble. Lift your heels, danger, danger. As the heels come up, your balance changes. You're now in the balls of your feet and toes. Can you spread the toes? Rest your heels down. That was really good. Now, rise, roll the shoulders back a few times. Yes. Open the legs wide. Wide as the shoulders. Hands to hips. Left hand towards left knee. Wow. Can you get the head a little lower? Super. Rise. Breathe in to rise. Other side. Touch. Right hand towards knee. Can you let your head go anymore? Hand comes up to hip, and you're going to use that hand to help you rise. Inhale. Up to the top. Good. Now, find your way down to the ground. Take a knee, and then a seat. Or come down to the ground any other way you see fit. Before we get comfortable, we're going to do a little bit of work. Please crisscross the legs. Crisscrossing the legs, the lotus position for the legs, is much easier if you're on a block. You might notice my posture here. I'll give you side view. Without too much to do. Not a bad posture, I must say. Pat on the back, self, good job. But notice what happens if I stick a block under the butt. We've got two different levels here. The higher up the better. See if you can notice any change. What do you think? Anything different with the block underneath? Let's try it. Compare and contrast. The length in the lower back definitely changes. The weight of the thighs drags forward, encouraging a lift away from it. Anyway, please find yourself comfortably seated. And if crisscrossing the legs is not comfortable for you, any other seated position will definitely do. In fact, if you're not comfortable coming down to the ground, you could do this series of exercise sitting on your sofa or in a chair. Anyway, crisscross applesauce as you see fit, as is comfortable. Definitely straining is against the rules. Try to find ease here. Now we want the shoulders slightly back and our elbows directly underneath of the shoulders. That might feel like work at first, but it's just proper posture. It does take work to sit here properly, but it also takes work to sit here slouchily. If you want to try with me, let's take a little fist and turn them to the ground, or to the thighs, elbows up, and then a little slouch in the torso. Let your ribs sink back, shoulders forward. You can take the chin down. And if you observe your body, the muscles it takes to hold this position, and then you compare it to elbows under shoulders, palms up, you might notice they both work. One might be more habitual, but posture right is a more efficient way to sit here. Settle into gravity's pull. We started this way, standing, simply feeling weight. Here, weight distributes through the seat, the outsides of your legs. Feel your connection to the floor, to block or cushion, as the case may be. Defy gravity with your ribs. Somehow they float off the pelvis. Defy gravity with your skull like a balloon. It floats up off of the neck, the stream of your neck. Look longer. That's your skull. Like a balloon. Floats up. And like we did standing, close the eyes. Just about 30 seconds here. You notice less movement in the body. The abdominals, very good. Holding your torso still. Notice how breath affects your body. The shape changes. Its temperature changes. Inhales feel different than exhales. No rush. If they're not already, open your eyes. And if you're crisscrossed like me, it's time to put the other leg in front. If you're in any other seated position, please just change your legs in any way so that you're in some other seated position. And other leg in front definitely counts as completely changing things as far as your seat goes. Flesh out from underneath of the pelvis, please. If you're not in the habit of doing that, do it 3 or 4 times, noticing that each time you do, you get a more refined connection to your seat, the base of your pelvis. And that's important because we are quite literally lifting our spine and rib cage off of the pelvis, encouraging the legs to fall down away from the posture up. Elbows more or less under shoulders. skull more or less floating away from your neck and shoulders. We add the arms in. Inhale, arms circle high. Palms touch, find your center as you exhale. Inhale, hands up. Palms forward. Sway as you exhale. Arms just to shoulder height. Inhale. Exhale down. Moving with your breath. Arms overhead, palms touch. And then down the way they came up. Using exhale. Find the ground. Good. Very good indeed. Side stretch. Left hand takes a little bit of weight. If you're uplifted on a block or a cushion, you might want another block or cushion close by to put your hand down to. Having hand along the same level as your seat is comfortable. Having hand below the level of your seat, remember, I'm on a bigger block than that one. This takes more flexibility, more challenge. You might be okay with more challenge. Bend left elbow back towards you. Not back, but back into you, yourself. That'll bring your shoulders lower. If you straighten the arm, you'll come higher. Just like all of our side stretches, your right arm can stay neutral as it is. You're seeing a good side stretch perhaps already. Your skull could go lower. And if you wish, arm over here. More or less extension, then in the elbow. Changes the shape dramatically. How long that arm is, whether the elbow be up or down. Inhale, prepare. As you exhale, it's like a cartwheel. Find the other side. Catch your breath. A long spine. Notice right fingers are pointing out to the right side. Right elbow bends back. It doesn't have to touch you, but it's not bending back away from the screen or the front here. It's bending in towards you. Your right elbow, if it could bend enough, would touch your hip or your side. Stay here, good side stretch. Encourage length through both sides of your torso. Maybe let the right ear down a little extra, or neck stretch, or side stretch. Still more side stretch if you add in the arm. Be nice. Be kind. Explore sensation. But never stray. And then an inhale to prepare. As you exhale, bend the elbow if not already. Use it to help you out. Find posture. Nice and right. One more move here. Take your right hand behind your seat more or less. Again, having a block to rest your hand to. If you're already seated, lift it. Might be helpful. Left hand comes anywhere to your right leg it can, even right side. We want to angle the torso this way, the ribs, the heart, the chin, more around back. Breathe in. As you exhale, let go. For the other side, left hand around back, right hand comes across, holds on to anything it can, shoulders more or less level, chin further around the back. Continue to breathe. Breathe, inhale. As you exhale, unwind. Very good. Open your legs wide. Notice change. Oh, nice to get the legs open. Nice to get blood flowing through them again more easily. Folded up in on themselves. The circulation is a little bit constrained. With legs more open, things flow more freely, and you feel the difference. If you're on a block, you may remain there. You're welcome to bring it out from underneath of you at any time you see fit. Your goal is to sit here comfortably. You'll notice I am in a nice slouch. After opening my legs wide, my pelvis wound up a little tucked under. So I have to remove flesh out from underneath of my sit bones, out from underneath of the pelvic bones. Once accomplished, it's going to be easier for me to lift the rib cage off of those butt bones. Legs wide, not obnoxiously wide. You don't have to throw them out there more. It's just silliness. Comfortably wide legs. Rest your hands to your thighs. Lean forward. If you need to, slouch forward, but I prefer a longer spine, ever lower. If you can, elbows to thighs. Comfortably can, hands to the floor, elbows to thighs. If comfortably can, relax the back of your neck. You're welcome to keep your face forward if you need to. If you suffer from spouts of vertigo, dropping your head like this might not be the best idea. If all is well, it shouldn't be an issue. Now here, just a few more breaths, perhaps 5 more. Can you walk your hands forward? If they're on the floor, can they come forward more? The elbows might then free fall towards the ground. Eventually, if you're a lucky one, elbows will touch the floor. Relax your neck, upper back, and shoulders. Tone your tummy muscles in just a little bit. Helps your back relax, that's why. Now I dare you, pull your toes back just a hint. Foot flexion. You can relax that now. Arms and inhale do the work. Your tummy pulls in. Inhale, rise. And again, the tummy pulls in as you inhale and rise. Good. Already in the tall posture. Very nice. Fantastic. If you're on a block, you might want to remove it out from underneath of you, but it's going to help transitioning your seat off the floor, so you might want to keep it there. The thing about keeping the block there is you got to return to the block, which might be harder or easier depending on how flexible your hips feel. With that said, don't feel like you need to lift your seat. Our goal is to find our posture back here in just a moment. If you're willing to play along, hands to the floor, somewhere around here. As you take your hands down, you're going to notice that your right foot moves. Purposely take the inside edge of your right foot, the big toe and all, down to the ground as you bring your hands here. Good. Now, keep your right leg long. Alternately, you could bend it and rest the knee down. That's your choice. I'll encourage you to keep the leg long today. Now the hard part is getting back up to seated. But the hard part, second hardest part, is to lift the seat up off the floor or up off the block. How to do that? Hips pull forward and up on top of the left knee, more or less. It's like an all fours position, but awkwardly placed. Sit back down. Careful, slower. Bring your shoulders lower as you lay the hip down. It won't be as heavy that way. And then the hard part, as mentioned, is to find the top again. Other side. So left leg out to the side, right foot tucks in. I will cue this whole exercise with the knee off the ground, but if you need to, you can rest that knee down to the ground when we get there. First things first, posture tall, tummy toned, shoulders are back. Looking good. Expect left big toe to find the ground as you place your hands down. The hard part is dragging the hips forward and up. Try to keep the knee up if you need to. You can change it to here. Looks like this. Otherwise, here we go. Inhale, lift. Nice, and then settle into your breath. It's a weird, awkward all fours position. Do you want to change your hands position? Harder to change the legs position. You're welcome to find your hands someplace better. Now, hips go down, but as you do, you don't want the weight of your shoulders in your hips, so you lean forward, taking that weight into your hands. And then the arms help to push you up, back on top of the block. Feel good with that one? More or less. Legs out in front of you, knees bent a little as you need. Leg out in front, other one, out in front. You'll notice my knees are up. I could straighten them, but a little bend in them is always nice. My pelvis is slouched. How about yours? Pull flesh out from underneath of the pelvis. Rest elbows to thighs if you can. Hands to thighs or shins as you can. Relax the back of your neck. Feel free to straighten your legs as you see fit. Listen to your body. Stay easy and explore stretch in this your seated forward fold. Can you relax your neck more? Could you tone your tummy in a little more? Would you like to move your hands down the shins? Little changes to where you place the hands will change the stretch. Little changes in how long the legs are will change the stretch. Keep the tummy toned. Listen to your breath. If it's labored, you're working too hard. Back off if your breath is labored. If your breath is calm and easy, you're right where you should be. You might push the edge just a little bit and allow breath to calmly settle. Tone tummy and arm strength, along with an inhale, will lift you up. Inhale, rise. Arm strength helps you rise. Good. Very good. Sit onto one hip or the other. And move block out from underneath of you if you've been sitting on one. I encourage you now to lie back, standing your feet to the ground for constructive rest. Constructive rest looks like this. Arms wherever you find them comfortable, soles of feet standing on the floor, lower back grounding and resting here. Can you feel the back of your pelvis and lower back resting? Put your attention there. Encourage release. Encourage the back of your pelvis to spread out and flatten into the floor. A few more breaths here. Simply feeling, relaxing, and letting go. Feel your breath come and go. sensations. Come and go. Your thoughts. They come and go. Your breath. Feel your breath. Now, lift your head and shoulders up off the floor. Arms reach forward for the toes. Try not to strain. Inhale, come down. I'm going to be very mean to you today and do that 4 more times. Arms reach first. They are heavy. Lifting them forward and up can help you counterbalance your shoulders and head as they come up. Inhale, shoulders, then head down. Arms, head, and shoulders up. Arms, shoulders, head, down. 2 more. Arms, head, and shoulders up. Arms, shoulders, head, down. Last one. Baby crunching. Rest down. Knock knee. Feet wide as your mat. Wider than your shoulders if you can. Knees fall towards each other. They may even touch. Toes turn them inward. Heels stay out far away. Toes angle inward as your knees fall towards each other. This is knock knees. Feel how it is different than constructive rest. Sensations, this breath, mind and mood. If you feel strain, get out of that. If you feel good, let go. Something more. Only this next exhale, and this next thought. Let go of something more. Feet walk together towards each other, about a hip distance apart. Gently, ever so gently, lightly lift the seat up. The bridge pose. Ideally, your nose points up at the ceiling as your hips lift. That becomes more important as you lift your hips higher. If your nose or face is turned one way or the other, you can strain your neck. It does not feel good. Always wary. This is your body. Take care of it. If you wish, lift higher, not a demand. Go down slow. That was a demand. Slowly lower each inch of your back down in time. Good. Once the hips are down, try right ankle to left knee. And then left knee, allow it to fall to the left. This is now a twisting figure 4 position. Ideally, your gaze goes away from the legs. Turn your face away from your legs. The right knee still high, ideally. The figure 4 shape is still in play. Stack your ankles. Right foot to left foot. Reset center. Constructive rest. And then left ankle to right knee. Right knee to the floor. Gaze away. Now it's time to stack the ankles and reset center. Nose up, knees up. Extend your legs long against the ground. Tuck your arms beside you. If you're comfortable, palms face up. Notice your breath. Notice your mood. Notice your thoughts. And notice your body. I'm going to leave you here today, lying on your back. I encourage you to spend a minute more here. 5, 10 minutes more here, lying on your back. When you're finished lying on your back, roll to one side or the other. Push yourself to seated. Take just a moment, comfortably seated, to feel your body and to wish the best for yourself and everyone you care about. And again, I encourage you to stay here another few minutes. Couple minutes more, perhaps.